an 80% casualty rate, a descent into homicidal madness, a royal execution. These are the receipts of El Dorado. For 300 years, the smartest, most ruthless explorers on Earth marched into the Amazon looking for a kingdom of solid gold. None of them found it, but the jungle found them. How did a city that never existed manage to kill so many people? To understand the body count, you have to understand the delusion. The conquistadors spent centuries tearing apart a continent looking for a golden empire, never realizing their entire obsession was built on a massive misunderstanding. El Dorado wasn't a place, it was a person.
The myth began with a shred of truth high in the Andes Mountains. To the indigenous Muisca people, gold was not currency, it was a sacred offering. When a new chieftain rose to power, he initiated his reign not with a crown, but with the earth itself. Covered in sticky resin and dusted from head to toe in fine gold powder, he became El Hombre Dorado, the gilded man. He stepped onto a wooden raft loaded with emeralds and golden artifacts, sailed to the exact center of a sacred crater lake, and dove into the dark waters to cleanse himself, offering his wealth to the gods.
But when the Spanish heard fragments of this ritual, their greed ignited. The gilded man quickly morphed into a golden city, and the fever spread like a plague. This is where the receipts of El Dorado were written in blood. First came the 80% casualty rate. In 1536, Gonzalo Jimenez de Quesada led 900 men into the uncharted Colombian wilderness. Trapped in a nightmare of starvation, tropical diseases, and fierce indigenous resistance, only 166 made it out alive. Then came the descent into homicidal madness. Decades later, Lope de Aguirre hunted for the city down the Amazon River. Driven insane by the heat and the phantom treasure, he launched a murderous rampage, slaughtering his own comrades and declaring war on the Spanish crown, before being destroyed himself. And finally, the royal execution. The legendary English courtier Sir Walter Raleigh staked his entire reputation, his wealth, and his son's life on finding El Dorado. When the expedition collapsed and his son was killed in battle, Raleigh returned to England empty-handed. A furious King James had him sent straight to the chopping block.
If they couldn't find the city in the jungle, the survivors decided to rip it directly from the earth. In 1580, a wealthy merchant forced thousands of native laborers to cut a massive trench into the mountain rim of Lake Guatavita, attempting to drain the sacred waters completely. They managed to lower the lake by 20 meters, revealing a few tantalizing golden trinkets. But the deeper they dug, the more the earth fought back. The intense tropical sun baked the exposed mud into a crust as hard as concrete, sealing the remaining treasures away. Then, catastrophic landslides triggered by the digging buried the workers alive. The lake refused to be conquered. In 1801, the great explorer Alexander von Humboldt officially mapped the region and declared El Dorado a total geographical myth. The city never existed. It was a phantom born of mist, translation errors, and unbridled human greed. Yet, centuries later, we are still captivated by it. Because the true tragedy of El Dorado was never the missing gold. It was the reminder that the human heart will march blindly into a fatal jungle, just for the chance to touch something miraculous. The map is vast, and there are still many blank spaces left to explore. If you're ready to look beneath the surface, subscribe, and let's seek out the next mystery together.